All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. Shalom, shalom. PITW. Peace in the wilderness with Ahaya Ahaya. Again, peace in the wilderness with Ahaya Ahaya. Good morning again. Sister Deborah coming with another video. And this video is going to cover pretty much a topic called truth and a little bit of something regarding what took place before the foundation of the world. Because yesterday on live, I realized that we spoke of many things and many topics we have discussed, but I noticed there was not one that covered the topic what took place before the foundation of the world. And I know it covers, it seems as if it's a part of, it's detached to everything happened before the foundation of the world. But we want to know really, it ain't that you need to know, but it would do many uh, good to understand that before it was on the earth and before it was orchestrated in the bosom of the Father, something took place before then. Okay, so that's a topic I think I did uh, 3 videos to cover it in the fullness to the beginning to the end. And at that time, I was also chastised by the Father because he was explaining to me that the power that rests in that message is not just given to any and everybody, and I understand that because that's how I felt even about what I was saying yesterday. It's important that I put out videos that with the idea that there are still those out there still confused and trying to search to see the light in which they are walking therein or to understand spirit and truth. And when they get into that video I uploaded, I was live yesterday, they will find themselves in a several testimonies of Sister Deborah. So I said, let me take that down. And I understand a lot about what the Father was saying as far as certain things in your life. You don't want individual to really know because they really can't. They can't. It's enough that they can't even embrace spirit and truth and the light. So you don't want certain things put out there because they're not going to see it as the Father's glory, giving him the glory, giving him the honor, giving him the praise. So if we if we as the Holy Spirit in me and me as in my spirit man bring out information to uh, give unto people that would enhance their understanding in the spirit realm so that they can spirit realm can teach their natural realm, that would be best. So I decided to take it down because you don't know when someone come onto the page and they might not get exactly what you're saying and they get lost in the page itself. So I, Sister Deborah, do understand they'll get lost in any and everything. And what I'm going to talk about this morning is understanding truth in first and foremost. And I'm going to touch a little bit on what took place before the foundation of the world. That was a topic no one pulled up, which I know that I've taught that. I broke that thing down and I put it in. I drew it out. What was taking place, how things were taking place, and this what prompt the Yah to create in his bosom the heavens and the earth and everything underneath the earth. hmm So it was a reason, uh, and it was a just reason, and it's a reason that rests in his righteousness. He can do that. Okay, but what I learned is truth is as I thought it was. It stands next to righteous and righteous stand next to truth. They stand together. Righteous is on the right side and truth is on the left side. But there's really not a left for the truth because it is detached to righteous. Uh, both of them are power punchers, okay? And what I mean by that, they carry all the weight. It's no weight greater than righteous and truth. Okay, that's why the Father's Spirit, it comes with truth, spirit and truth. You see, um, so I want to just touch on the ideal of how truth is an example of truth. It's like let's set it up in a parable, a two-edged sword. On each side is very sharp, and if you swing it toward someone, or even toward yourself, and you can actually hit on one end of the sword or the other because it's two edges to it, and it's bound to touch, okay, touch or do what it does. Okay, so I look at truth like that as well. Truth is a mission in itself, seem like, it coming to say something. And truth is a really good thing because it also kind of divide things as the Father has divided all things into twos. When truth comes to do that as well, it comes to tell you who can handle truth and who cannot. You see, those that cannot handle truth, they are not pretty much, they are not the spiritual seed. They are the dark side. And many people don't understand when truth is such a heavy burden or bearing toward you or cause you to hear truth and it makes you feel offended or it makes you turn from truth because you think that, okay, I have a choice to hear or not hear. I can hear that or I don't need to hear that. It doesn't matter because when truth speaks, it stands on what it speaks about. You see, it's going to speak and it don't need no one to clarify, justify, or identify it. Truth going to speak. But one thing truth do is it has a way with your flesh. It can shut it up and it can shut it down. Okay? That's what truth is. You see? And just because we're in the flesh and we're living in the flesh, we feel that, okay, I can hear truth or I don't have to hear truth. Why do you think the world is in the condition that it is in? Because it does not live on righteous. The world does not live on truth and on righteous, y'all. You see, the world lives on lies, wicked and evil. You see what I'm saying? So you see, if the world lives on the opposite of what righteous and truth is, then is truth and righteous degraded because the world lives on wicked and evils and lies and darkness? No. Truth and righteous gonna always remain, even if they got to remain by themselves. They're gonna always stand. Let's take, for instance, Noah and the ark. You notice that all those years he was speaking to the people and he was saying that the Father is going to destroy the world and how they need to come out and really and stop the sin and a lot of things he was saying to them all those years. Nothing mean anything. What did that mean, Deborah? They didn't care about truth. So what was Noah doing? He was still speaking truth in spite of not one pulling up. You see? You see how powerful truth and righteous is? It don't need you. It don't need you to agree. It don't need your stamp of approval. It don't need your approval at all. It stands alone. This is why the world is in the condition that it is in. I'm speaking the same thing as if I am Noah, doing the same thing, blowing the trumpet. And this is what Yah say unto me when he said this need be. As he said, as I'm sure he comfort Noah as well with the same thing. Just imagine him constantly trying to influence the people to come on, y'all. He's going to, why didn't they listen? And what was it that they didn't want to hear? Truth. Did not it happen the way Noah said it happened? You get the point I'm making? It's just like Sister Deborah. I can be on this devil platform and 2 and 3 other platforms, speaking spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. It don't mean nothing if one don't or turn from what Sister Deborah is saying. You know why? It's truth. Truth don't need you to justify or clarify and identify or approve of it. Truth gonna stand even if it's standing alone. Did not Noah stand alone? His sons and daughters, his sons and his son's wife and his wife, they wasn't standing in truth. It was because of Yah in him as truth, he saved their whole family. You see what I'm saying? But what about all those million of people? Now that was the whole world. So it was more than a million of people that this man had to take all these years trying to speak to him about what? Truth. Truth don't need your approval. It don't need your stamp. It don't need you in its space, believing it or believing it not, or accepting it or not. Truth does not rumble that way. Okay? Truth is not looking for the multitude, you guys. Truth is not looking for the multitude. It never was, and it never will, and it never shall. The truth is only looking for those who are going in a certain area called the narrow gate. You see? The truth is looking for only those that Yah already know belong to him, his remnant. That's the power of truth, you guys. So it's not so much as what someone is saying, even when it comes down to offending individuals. You have to measure it. Is it truth? Is it something someone is speaking that's truth? And that's where you would get it. It's the idea you'll look at and you say, wait a minute. Even though that paid person's saying it this way, it's truth. That's how you also can analyze yourself in the flesh. And that way, your spirit can gain what it needs to gain when you're able to manifest that within your flesh. You go to somewhere and something happened, or you in your family, something happened. You measure that thing by truth. Is it righteous? Is it true? That's how you measure it. If you done somebody wrong, or you did something wrong, or you said something wrong, or you took something, or you did something wrong, wait a minute, measure it by truth, by righteous. Let me say an example. If a woman goes into the store because her baby, she got 3 babies at home, she don't have no food, she don't have nothing at home, and they haven't eaten in 5 days. She go into a store and she decide to sneak and steal. Now, how are you going to make anything right by doing wrong? So where is the truth in that? That the store owner stops her and tell her, no, you can't do that. Why are you stealing these things? In a situation like that, it would be her going to the owner and saying, I got 3 babies and we have nothing. Learning how to communicate it in a way that the Most High would drop it right in your lap. But if you do it in a way of what he said, thou shalt not steal, and then thinking, okay, I'm only stealing because I got 3 babies at home and they haven't ate 5 days. What is truth about what you're doing? So should you do wrong because you feel it's right? Because your children haven't eaten, so I go do wrong? That's the power of truth. The whole overall, when he explained to me the whole overall of Noah and the ark was missed. And I said to the Father, I said, I saw it missed not only in Noah, when Yeshua taught it, and when he taught it to the disciples about Lot. I said, I see both of them where all the people missed it. Everybody missed it because we focus on what has been put into the book, and we keep our eyes focused on what we understand, what is in the book. But it's best to understand it by weighing it by righteous and by truth. In the whole idea, now I'm gonna show y'all how Yah is not like many want to place him to be, because that's the way they feel about him. Now you got to think, and I'm gonna go back to Israel and Egypt. I'm gonna go back to that one too. You got to think, what was the purpose of this whole overall ending the world and Noah? Okay, you notice that the whole overall over the whole situation, it's not so much that they were eating, drinking, sinning, and doing all these things. Because I think of 99.9 missed the whole idea, the first sentence. The men. It told you what it was about. The whole world missed Noah when they missed that. And this is another thing that I'm talking about. No one wants to embrace truth unless you giving it to them where they don't have to feel they see themselves in the mirror. You see, with this whole thing about what took place in Noah, it wasn't the missed picture of this whole thing is that the servant served Yah. The servant served Yah. He was Yah's servant, and he served truth to the people. Who was Noah? He was Yah's servant, and he served truth to the people. So who came out? Noah and truth. What happened to all other people? If it was about all the things that took place, what they were doing, how they was doing it, if you really want to land it on there, what was the outcome? The outcome fell right in the lap of the survivor, was Yah's servant and those things in which he served, which was truth. It happened like he tried to explain them. All those years, it happened. So what did Noah do? The servant that served truth came out. Did truth get drowned? Did righteous get drowned? No. The servant came out, and he came out serving truth. Those are two that came out. Truth and what he served. No, not truth. Noah and what he served. Noah is the servant of Yah, and he served what Yah gave him to serve to the people, which was truth. Deborah, that's so thick. Ooh, that's so thick. It would go into your head 4 different ways and come out. That's what it's really all about. How the servant of Yah served truth to the people. So it's not about how you believe it, how you receive it, how you dissect it. You know, all of that is trash. It's all about the servant of the Most High Yah, serving the word in which Yah gives him to serve unto the people. Because that's the only thing coming out. That's the only thing coming out. So when there are many wants to be able to take truth and measure it from their flesh, emotions, and feelings, it ain't gonna get you nowhere. It's going to keep you going in a circle until you're in the grave. And you might be going in a circle in the grave, in the grave too. Because let's go to when he brought uh, Israel and Egypt. Same thing. Same thing. It was about, it was not about anything outside of his servants serving him with what? Truth. Father, you can really move me to the next level. The servant, it's about the servant the servant of Yah serving truth. Let's go with Moses. Moses told the father told him to go to Pharaoh. Moses tell the father, I'm not a good speaker. I can't talk very well. And the father told him, don't say that to me. You see, you are my servant. I am not yours. You are here to serve me. See, that's where a lot of people keep getting things messed up, because they think Yah got to serve them. He has to do all for them. And their hearts are too hardened to do for anybody else outside of themselves. But they expect the expectation of Yah to do for me. So he's telling Moses, I need you to serve. And he gives him Aaron to help with the servant. So both men were going to Egypt to serve Yah. Now, watch this here. When they go into Egypt, they're telling Pharaoh what Yah said. So what are they doing? They speaking to Pharaoh. Okay? They telling him. So the servant went to Pharaoh and spoke truth. Aaron and Moses went to Pharaoh, and they went to Pharaoh as a servant of Yah to serve the truth. See, that's what y'all don't understand. That's why it's so easy to know the fruit of the Spirit and the work of the Spirit, because a lot of people got it confused. They don't understand it. Just as Noah, family and wife got to go with him, all because he was the servant of Yah that carried truth. Moses and Aaron goes to Pharaoh to be a servant of Yah. So when they go before Pharaoh, they telling him that Yah sent them. So it's Yah they are Yah's servant. What are they serving Pharaoh? The truth of the matter that the Father says in the kingdom says, let my people go. Now, this is how you know that it's not about letting the people go. Because the Creator, the Father, turned around, hardened Pharaoh's heart so he wouldn't do what? Let the people go. So that shows you that Pharaoh cared enough for Moses that he would have let the people go. But Yah did something to keep him from letting the people go. But he still used Aaron and Moses each time as a servant to serve the truth of what I'm going to do for each plague regarding letting the people go. So this is the problem that the prophet had. How is it you're going to, this when I was a teenager, a young person, how are you going to send them to tell them to let the people go, but then harden his heart so he won't go? What's going on? See, I was the one that always asked those questions. I didn't go to a pastor, nobody, because I knew they didn't know nothing. Even as a young person, I go straight to the horse's mouth. What's going on with that? See, this is where I say that you might think you are so nailed into what you think you know. You see, Aaron and Moses went in as servants of the Most High Yah. To what? To serve to Pharaoh truth. What was truth? The word of Yah. was to let the people go, or else I'm going to do that. Each time Pharaoh did not let the people go, did not the plagues come on him? So did not Aaron and Moses serve him the right food on the plate? Which was truth. You see, a lot of y'all thinking when you look at that picture, you really focus Israel and Judah. They focus on it like they all that, and how much, and they focus on how much Yah used His authority and His power to bring them out and save us, cause we all this and all that. Baby, you missed the mark. Never will it be about you. It's going to always be about Him. And that's why the glory in what He's going to do at the end is going to gain Him recognition. For all these times He let us get by with not giving Him the glory and honor. Okay? Not seeing Him for who He is. So as He's sending them to these two servants down there to Pharaoh to what? To serve on the plate the truth. The truth of what? If you don't let them go, I'm gonna put this plague on you. On every plate was exactly the truth of what Yah told them to go tell Pharaoh. What was hindering? Yah hardened his heart so he won't let the people go, so that the plagues that was on the plate, which was truth, would be dispersed upon onto Pharaoh and his army, and Pharaoh and his people. You see how he rumbled truth? It didn't. Truth wasn't about if Moses and Aaron got it. Truth is not about if you get it the way you understand it, or the way you feel it, the way you see it, the way you precede it, or the way you think it. No, truth gonna stand on its own. Do you know how to separate it? 99.9 don't, because they live on their flesh, not able to understand truth that rests in the spirit and in the natural. Now watch this. So my thing was, as a teenager, it's like 16, 17, well, why are you sending them in there to tell him if you're going to harden their heart so it won't let them go? Deborah, I'm not talking, my point is not through Pharaoh. It's not through Moses and Aaron. I'm trying to get these people, these stiff-necked, rebellion and disobedient people, to see my truth. I'm trying to get them to see my truth. You see, I took Aaron, I took Moses as my servant, Deborah, out of from among them. Men that they knew. I used them as my servant to serve truth. But did the Israelites get it? No, they didn't. And the truth that was supposed to have been able for them to take the plate and take of the truth is the fact that he's doing all these plagues on Pharaoh on our behalf. The Creator is doing these things for us. He's going to bring us out. He's doing this to them because of us. And look how we are waiting for him to do for us because of the people in this world today. And there's no truth resting in us. We can't even respect his servants. You see what I'm saying? It's the same mess. So that right there led me to understand that this was a type of people that wasn't going to really understand truth. The truth of the matter is who he really is. That's one of the main truths. They didn't see it. They didn't see the fact that, okay, he's doing all this to them, but it ain't done to us. So the God of Moses is pouring out these things to punish them and not punishing us. That shows you they never got it. That's why they died in the wilderness, y'all. See, y'all don't get it. See, we think we know something. We want to feel we know and think we know. That's the good thing about the truth and righteous and truth. It don't need Deborah. It don't need you. It don't need nobody on this earth, nor anybody in the heavens outside of he that is righteous and true. He used us as his vessels. And we put on the plates truth to give unto the people. You see? And just imagine all of those who lost their lives. It's all of the prophets and all of the disciples that lost their life doing what? Being servants of Yah, that's one, and feeding people the truth. That's two. You see? You see this? This is so deep to where I love the ideal of what I'm talking about, because it's also allow you to see the tare from the wheat clearly, because individual will back out when things are said, not measuring it. Wait a minute, is it truth? You see, it ain't about if it's truth or not. It's about how I feel about what is being said. You see what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go to John, the Gospel of John, chapter 8, and verse 31 and 32. In the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 31 and 32, it reads, Then said Yeshua to those Jews which believed on him. Okay? If ye continue in my word, you notice they got here word. You see that word? Instead of saying words with an S. This is another way people don't see. See, they can't see because he that is greater in me should be in thee. And because he is not, you can't see what's actually being said. But notice he said, my word, with no S. He said many things. Yeshua came down here and said many words. But he did not. He's letting you know, in my word, then are ye my disciples. Let's read it again. The Gospel of John, chapter 8, and verse 31. Then said Yeshua to those Jews that believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Now listen to 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That's giving you no choice. It's going to make you free. You see? So a lot of times people looking in their flesh for their feelings and their emotion for truth. Truth is not going to be found in the realm of what your feelings and your emotion is detached to. It's going to be found in that which comes to set you free. Set you free. And in accordance for it to set you free, it has to first set you free in the spirit so it can set you free in the flesh. So you got a long ways to go. You see? So just looking at that, it does something. It tells you that truth has its mission in itself. It ain't coming here to play with you. It ain't coming here to wobble in your emotions and your feelings. It's come to set those that are not free, free. And that's the way I feel about myself. I feel that I am set free to the point where if I'm going to do something, I'm doing it knowingly that it's not right or that it is right because I'm set free. You see? So when you are set free in the spirit, and he ain't talking about in the flesh, but the spirit that is set free, you are free indeed. That means you have the ability to set your flesh free. You see what I'm saying? Because you are free in the spirit realm. Okay? So truth, I like how it rolls up. And he's telling those disciples that what? Believe, and ye shall know truth, and the truth shall set you free. You see what I'm saying? And this is what a lot of people don't hold firm to. So when you hear Sister Deborah saying spirit and truth, spirit and truth, spirit and truth, they ain't teaching spirit and truth, truth. You thinking that Sister Deborah just on here, just running her mouth. This is how Sister Deborah is also able to measure many things in her spirit realm. Who's who, what's what. Like I said before, and it will never penetrate that even in the live chat, no matter where you at, you can be right at home right now. And if I think of you, I can read your thoughts. It is not a gift that I have to prove to you, because it does not come with boasting, ego, and pride. It comes with suffering, endurance. And that's nothing to be uplifting and proud or boasting on. The ability to have to do things that Yah instilled in you to do, or to have what Yah instilled in you to have. Because you still have to keep it under order. You have to keep it in order. But that's why it's so good to have him in me to help me maintain and use it when it is needed. Okay? So when I get to Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, I'm not going to hold you long. When I get to the book of Ephesians, and this is another thing that I think that many people who are servants of the Most High Yah, this is the credit that they're not going to ever gain in this in living period, because people take it as a joke. Like I just explained to you, I gave you Noah. He was a servant of Yah. What did he do? He went in to serve the truth of what's about to happen. Aaron and Moses were servants of Yah. They went in to Pharaoh to give him what? The truth of the matter of what Yah wanted him to do. Even though Yah hardened his heart, it wasn't about what Yah did by hardening his heart. It's about you serving me, you being my servant, and serving what I said. Whoo, Father Yah, which is truth. You see? So when I get to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 14, it says, but speaking the truth in give and gave may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. See that power? Read it again. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. But speaking the truth in give and gave, that means you take truth and you give it and gave it to someone. Okay? You speaking truth by giving truth and giving truth to someone. Now watch this here. May grow up in him in all things, which is the head, in Christ. Who's getting the glory? Still yet. Hamashiach. You see? It's about, yeah, see, everybody want to, and I understand why we are all like that in this day and time, because we see so much and so many voices. You don't know what to trust in, what to believe in. And I think the greatest thing to have is to have a relationship with the unseen creator. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that's just going back, being a servant of Yah, serving that food to you regarding the creator. It's too hard for people. It's the truth. But it's something that many don't want to swallow. Many don't want to embrace. Okay, so in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15, but speaking the truth in give and gave the truth, may grow up in him in all things, which is the head. Who is the head? Christ. This is why you don't have the pastors teaching, the bishops. Look at the priests. You probably couldn't find one priest in the world. Now, get me right now, in the whole world that's preaching truth. You got all these bishops, these pastors, these leaders, all these people with these positions with no truth. And even their position is not as a servant of Yah. Because a servant of Yah is going to serve spirit and truth, which is truth on the plate, and serve it to the people. Okay, so but I like where it says even Christ, because that's the body of Hamashiach. We are the body. We inside the body. Christ is the head. So it's just the people that would have this, not all, but only a certain people. Let's go to the Gospel of John. I think it is verse 1 and verse 6. Let's see if I don't remember it being there, but let's see. Verse 1. I might have this. No, that's an error. Okay, so let's go to 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18. Look like I'm going to get around to this evening speaking on what took place before the foundation of the world. We're going to deal in that, y'all. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18, and it reads, my little children, let us not give and gave in word. Don't be taking word to just give and gave, neither your tongue. And he's speaking of speaking. Let us not give and gave in word and in tongue, but in deed and in truth. You see truth? You see truth? Truth is what you're supposed to serve to the people if you are a servant of Yah. And just because everybody is giving you something on a plate, don't mean they are servants of Yah serving truth. It's saying it right here again. My little children, let us not give and gave in words nor tongue. That means speech. But in deed and in truth. So letting you know, not just running your mouth, but in deed and in truth. See, they don't have no other idea of what's being said here. Important for you to bring in truth, it has to detach to spirit and truth. Because the flesh don't know nothing, have no respect for no truth. You get what I'm saying? So this is why I say over and over, spirit and truth. And when I was in the last 3 years, I've been on the mountaintop explaining to people that people are not speaking spirit and truth. They're just speaking their truth. And it is winning them over. It is winning people over. Let's go to the John again. This time we're going to go to John 3. John 3 and verse 1 and 4. The third epistle of John, verse 1 and no, the first chapter. The third epistle of John, chapter 1 and verse 4. I have no great joy than to hear that the children walk in truth. Listen to it again. I have no greater joy than to hear that the children walk in truth. That means live your life, your living in truth. Be about what is truth, what is righteous. Don't be about all this chaos that's in the world and wanting to express everything that's in the world and making it something as if it's truth, and we know all of it is a lie. They've shown us everything that can be possibly shown under the sun and how they have treated the people, human. But yet we make them truth and make Yah the lie. But he says here in the third epistle of John, chapter 1 and verse 4, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. See, I know it. A lot of y'all don't think nothing of truth. You figure it's just a word somebody's spinning around. Truth is what's supposed to be handed to you on the plate. And not all this other stuff that cause your emotions and your adrenaline and your energy to be all over the place. Because it seems as if that's what people like to hear, stuff that triggers that flesh to rumble. Okay? Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. And then I'm going to sum this up. And I will be back at either 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to cover what took place before the foundation of the world. So you too can understand a little bit about why you see these things on the earth. Because you notice everything is his will and for his name's sake. So we know that everything that we actually are seeing and everything that is was because he was and he is and he's going to be. He was the creator of all things. He created the mind to create the things that you do see. And without him giving them the mind to do it, it's no way they could have done it, whether they're in the dark or whether they're in the light. You got to be able to recognize the power of the creator. Because he can do that. Okay? In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8, and it reads, Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8, finally, brother, whatsoever thing that are true, whatsoever thing that are true, whatsoever thing that are honest, whatsoever thing that are just. Just mean righteous. You see, honest, it means truth. So it's showing you how righteous, just, there it is, the things which is connected to truth. True, it says true, but I'm saying truth. These things connects to truth. Now listen to it. Verse 8. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are given gave. It says lovely. Whatsoever things are good report. If there be a virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Well, how would you think on them? You're going to think of them as truth. And to add to it, spirit and truth. You see, we as individuals, we tend to really think this thing going to have to roll the way it is in the flesh. And it's okay to feel that way because that's the whole world. Everybody feels that the way things has to be rumble or the way things must go have to go the way we feel this thing in the flesh. But the Father wants you to know it ain't never been the way you feel it, the way you think it, and the way you perceive it. Truth comes to set you free. And if it can't set you free, you can't be set free. And it's not so much as how truth is said, the way, the sound, the or who it is, or it can be any race, it can be any nationality, it can be any religion, it can be any denomination. It don't. Truth is when y'all servant is serving from a plate in which Yah has given them to serve. And truth can be found any and everywhere because that's who Yah is. He's all righteous and he's all truth. So I hope you got something out of it. And I will be back. I don't know if it's going to be 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 p.m. Central Time. A wonderful message. I think I might try to draw it up again so that I can present it again so you can understand something that you never understood or you might not even knew exist. And we're going to learn before he put in his bosom the creation itself, what was going on, what was taking place behind the scene that can never be seen. And that is, there was something taking place before things got brought down to the earth, even before Satan was brought to the earth. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think what was going on to trigger all of what you see. It all makes sense. And I'm going to break it down at 7. I think I will come at 7 p.m. Central Time so that I could kind of bring it forth. Is it a topic that I should not teach? Yes, it is. It's a topic. But because we said a lot of things of what we have covered, and we see that it's a lot of spirit and truth that we have learned, this is a part that I was taught as a young person, and I understood it. And when I look back over my life, I realized that, wait a minute, Father, this is where it began. And it's almost like this was the number one stepping stone that brought me to the one level to the next and next and that. But it took that level, and I thank him for that, because I had no idea of the in which it was coming from, the direction of understanding this, what took place before the foundation of the world. Even though I had a heavy belief on he that I cannot see, but yet I believe, I used to commune with him. So I think back at that and even say, if only the people would have known what Yah expressed to me as a young person about what took place before the foundation of the world, maybe people can see things a little different. But the Father revealed to me, as a servant, you are my servant, and you serve truth, because I made you my servant. You see? Then therefore, he made me what I am, to serve him. You see what I'm saying? And how do I serve him? In righteousness and in truth. What is called spirit and truth. I serve him by making sure that truth rests in many things that I say. Do that make me perfect, sinless? No. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with it. All you have to do is go back and see everybody he chose. They had issues. Every last one of us had issues. Why? Because we have to keep, it ain't that we got to keep it. There's going to always be a thorn in our side to remind us that he ordered our steps and not us ordering our own steps. So it keeps us in line that you are no better than nobody else. You're no different than nobody else. You're not perfect than nobody else. You know, I like that, because that's how he is. He don't want us to step in the boundaries of you all that, you all that, you this, you this. No. Sister Deborah is only what he called me to be, which is his servant. To serve. To serve from the plate in which he wants me to serve. To serve that which is on the plate that he wants me to serve. So, as I was saying earlier in the conversation, when you bring up things, you know, you have those that goes left and go right, and it's good and it's okay. A lot of people can't handle truth, no matter what form it's in, because truth do affect people in many ways, y'all. But it also lets them know, if truth comes, no matter what form and how it's coming, and I have to speed out left or speed out right, is because I can't handle what is being said. That has a great deal to do with what he said. Try the spirit by the spirit. This is also individuals who are not of fruit of the spirit or the work of the spirit. They can't handle certain things, so they have the choice of the flesh to not hear what is being served, because they feel the power rests in their flesh choosing not to. You see, not understanding that's who you are in the spirit. You see, and that's what a lot of people really don't understand. Your action shows in your flesh who you are in the spirit. Okay, so Sister Deborah will be back, and I will be teaching that lesson, and I hope that the Father be with me. A lot of times he don't want me to speak on that, because that was something he's given me, and he told me it's too potent for them to accept it as you speak it, because I can break it all down, but you know, it's just not for everybody, you know. And I'm thinking I might go into that message, what took place before the foundation of the world. I'm going to let the Father lead me on this. And if I don't teach that, I still will be back. So if he says no, hands off. Okay. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in, and I hope you got something out of it. Understand, spirit and truth. Shalom and shalom.